You are now listening to Cryptid Cocktail Party.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host, Dave, joined as always by my wonderful also host, Sarge. What's going on, handsome?
What's up, fam?
Oh,
How we doing?
I don't like that, Sarge.
I won't actually say that in real life. That was like, that just came out. It's not like I don't actually say that normally.
You're just nervous? You didn't know what to say at the time?
Yeah, I'm all frazzled. I just came back from the Great White North.
Canada?
Close.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's like Canada with guns, you know? It was a good time, though. I love a good trip to New Hampshire.
Who doesn't?
You can walk into any general store in the entire state and get like a World War I trench knife, a bag of pickles, and some pancake mix.
Yo, nothing is better than going into like a trading post or like some sort of like little shop,
General store,
and getting a pickle from a barrel. Pickles are hands down the best pickles you will ever have in your entire life.
Absolutely, no question.
Yeah,
no question.
This
is why I love New Hampshire, because you are never more than 10 miles away from a pickle.
Oh yeah. Dude, back where I used to live in Barrington, there's Calif's Country Store. And, dude, barrel pickles, the way to go every single
Always
time.
the way to go.
You can't not. They also have like a deli meat counter. And you get some fucking weird shit like alligator and ostrich and shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I went to Zeb's General Store and I got some alligator jerky.
Yeah, New Hampshire's wild.
Yeah. Here's the thing that's starting to piss me off about New Hampshire, though. I think it's my people that are doing it. I think it's the Massachusetts assholes that are going up there.
You leaf peepers? No, I guess you're not leaf peepers.
I'm not a leaf peeper.
Yeah.
I go up there to get away from people from my state. But I went to a general store. I was going to go to a general store that I always go to. And I looked it up online after the toy chest incident, which we don't have time for. But everything's okay with the toy chest for those of you who know what that is.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Some silicone foam covered nipple clamps go a long way. Anyway,
talk about a barrel pickle. Am I right?
There's a general store up there. There's a general store up there.
Yeah.
And I love this general store. And I looked it up online and they redid the inside. So now it's just bullshit. Now it's essentially like Crate and Barrel.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's fucking nonsense. No barrel of pickles anymore. Like,
No.
how fucking dare you? How dare you call that a general store and you're really just going in to buy, like, artisan handcrafted pint glasses? Fuck you.
Yeah, the audacity, dude. The fucking audacity.
The balls on these people.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time up in my neck of the woods, or my old
How's your
stuff,
week?
man. My week's been great, dude. I went and saw the fucking Wonder Years this week.
Nice.
Yeah, it was they played 6 sold out shows at the TLA, and we were on the 6th night. They actually broke the record for the longest sold out residence at the venue.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was super fun. Kind of a weirdly emotional show. I don't know. It was cool, but it was a lot of fun. And then that's the only highlight I have.
I don't know if the emotions are weird. Like, I got a little emotional when I saw the Dropkick Murphys and they played the Green Fields of France.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've seen the Wonder Years fucking a million times, so it's not like. I think it was just the album. It was weird. I don't know, because it
hit you right.
It was a 10-year anniversary of No Closer to Heaven, which is one of their albums. What's weird though is it's my least favorite, or one of my least favorite albums of theirs. But I don't know. Yeah,
It just hit you the right way.
yeah, something about it live. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of bands are like that. You hear them live and the song takes on a whole new meaning.
Yeah, and then it was mostly, I think, the banter in between songs. Like he just fucking laid it all out. It was pretty good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But anyway, speaking of live stuff,
Good transition.
it was.
Maybe they do come for the transitions.
Yeah. This week, Sarge, we are going to be talking about one of the weirdest unsolved mysteries in live television broadcasting history.
Okay.
Can you
game?
Can you guess what it is?
I can't. I have no idea. I go down like those rabbit holes of like lost media.
Yeah.
So my head's just full of like Bud Dwyer,
It's not anything.
Christine Chubbuck.
No, it's not that intense.
Good. I hope not. I'm not ready to watch that.
No, we're going to be talking about something you're probably very familiar with. We're talking about the Max Headroom broadcast hijacking.
Oh my God, I love these.
Yeah.
I love these so much.
You familiar with Max Headroom and all that jazz?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Well, I guess we'll just dive right in. So for anyone who doesn't know, back on November 22nd in 1987 in the great city of Chicago, one of the local stations, WGN-TV, was airing the evening news. They cut over to the sports segment, and the anchor, Dan Roan, is on screen delivering the report like normal, just a standard sports recap. And then without warning, the signal just cuts out. There's like no fade, no transition, nothing. It just gets taken over. And for about 20 to 30 seconds, viewers see this guy wearing a Max Headroom mask, sunglasses, and just kind of bobbing up and down in front of this weird corrugated metal looking background that's moving behind. It's kind of like going like side to side, and he's going like up and down. It's kind of chaotic.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and that's all it is. Just some random guy standing there staring into the camera, and it kind of looks like he's having a blast, to be honest. And even though there isn't any like clean audio, it's just kind of like this harsh buzzing sound. It looks like he's like jamming out to some fucking rad tunes. He's having the time of his life.
He's having a day.
Yeah, and then it just cuts. The station regains control. The broadcast comes back, and Dan Roan is just casually like, looks like we're experiencing some technical difficulties. And they just
I immediately think of that Simpsons episode where they say they got technical difficulties and just a cameraman holding a booze bottle.
But then they just keep going. Like they don't explain it. There's no panic, nothing. And everyone just kind of assumed it was just some weird glitch, like maybe an interference, something got crossed somewhere. It was weird, but it wasn't alarming. I'm sure you're familiar with the longer broadcast, but because there's two of them, this happens twice in the same night. Did you ever see the first one?
Yeah, I've seen them both. I think I've seen them both. I'm pretty sure.
Well, in case you haven't, and for anyone who wants to hear, I guess
we gotta do it.
You want to watch it real quick? All right. So this is the first hijacking of the news station.
Sean got a good break on it. Unfortunately enough, we scored.
Then they scored again. At the Lions 31, Wayne Larrabee called it like this on WGN Radio.
2-yard line, and McMahon back to throw. Dumps it up the middle. Wide open McMahon. Cutting left to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5.
McMahon and McKinnon, 14-0 Bears. Then the defense, which hadn't put up a sack in 12 quarters, finally did.
I hate it so much.
It's so unhinged. Oh, it's so creepy. It's a Soviet psyop.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I. Actually, the computer that we have running our news from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is start over from the top with the Bears and tell you once again about the 30-10 victory they had over Detroit today out at Soldier Field. We'll show you from the top and show you again the change that they made today on defense with Maurice Douglas.
So that's
that's
nuts. It was, but yeah, just blamed
Cocaine's
it on,
a hell of a drug.
They just blamed it on like, computer just went a little haywire.
Yeah. You're a little early for computer animation, some like random computer animations. I'm pretty confident someone hijacked your feed, bud.
Yeah. But they didn't seem too like alarmed by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They seem kind of okay with it.
That's a consummate professional right there, because I would have been like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. You think there'd be a little more to it, but no, it was professional, I feel like.
Yeah, no, he did a great job.
Yeah, that is, till a couple hours later when it happens again. Now, this time it happened on a different station. It happened on WTTW during a Sunday night airing of Doctor Who. The signal cuts, And now the same masked guy is back. Same sunglasses, same strange moving background, same bobbing motion. But this time there's audio. And right away, it gets fucking weird. Now, the sounds coming through the broadcast are super distorted. It's kind of electronic. It sounds super compressed, kind of like it's being pushed through like real shitty equipment. But anyways, he just starts talking. He's not like giving a speech. He's not like explaining anything. He's just kind of rambling. A lot of what is said is just straight up unintelligible.
Poppycock.
Yeah, but something's kind of come through. Like at one point he says, quote, your love is fading. And then he takes a shot at Chicago sportscaster Chuck Swirsky saying, I think I'm better than you, Chuck Swirsky, which is a very specific dig, but it kind of does tell you something. And that is that whoever is doing this kind of knows the local landscape. So
yeah.
He then starts referencing commercials, holding up a can of Pepsi, but making comments about Coca-Cola. The whole thing's chaotic. And then it somehow gets even weirder. Near the end of the broadcast, the camera angle shifts, and now the guy is bent over, ass fully out, and someone off camera just starts spanking him with a fly swatter while he's still just rambling on about God knows what. And then it just cuts.
It's nice to know I'm not the only customer of the toy chest.
Yeah, it's chaotic. Do you want to? Should we play this one too? Do you want it? Yeah. All right. Let's
bring it on. I need it.
Right.
I need it in my life.
All right. So this is the second broadcast. The whole thing lasts only 90 seconds.
Because he's a freaking nerd. He's a Chuck Swirsky. Jesus.
It's so disorienting.
Oh. It's really unhinged.
What's the way?
I don't understand what's happening.
He's got to be drunk. And that's what makes it better, honestly.
I still see the X. Oh, my pile. Oh, I just made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds.
Oh, all the greatest newspaper nerds. I like that.
My brother is wearing the other one. But it's dirty.
I just wish we could hear what he's saying.
Coming to get me.
I think this is a part that I missed.
The ass slapping part?
Yeah, and the head with the tongue sticking out of it.
Oh, yeah, I think he just took off the mask. I don't know where.
Yeah, but where'd the tongue come from?
Probably you can pick one of those up at the toy chest.
I think he also said that Chuck Swirsky is a freaking nerd in the very beginning.
Is that what he said?
I think that's what I picked up.
I just wish there was better audio.
Me too.
I'm sure there's. I mean, I just found that's just the first one that I found. I didn't like.
I mean, it's going to be hard to find because it was everybody who recorded it on VHS back in, what was it, 1987?
Yeah, 1987.
So you can't expect it to be good no matter how you do it.
That's true. Well, that's because, we fucking, as a society, decided VHS was better than Betamax. If everyone had a Betamax,
way better.
Yeah, we probably could have had the clearest audio. I don't know. So
do you actually know why VHS beat out Betamax?
Porn.
Yep.
Same way.
Yep.
Same reason why Blu-ray beat out HD DVDs.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah, I think it's how like CDs and like the more because you can hold more data. You need
crystal clear audio.
That's it. Okay.
You need that macaroni sound. You really do.
All right, we're moving on. But it's gross because I know exactly what you're talking about. That.
Yep.
All right.
All right. You know, it's
You did this,
it's-
Sarge. This is on you.
It is my own fault.
You're in a hell of your own making, buddy. All right.
Macaroni in a pot, to quote the great Cardi B.
Okay. So anyway, so the signal cuts out, and then that cuts out. Then the signal comes back in. Doctor Who continues like nothing happened, and everyone watching is just sitting there like, what the fuck was that? With one or two of them probably rock hard. I guarantee it. You know, there's two of them.
Definitely. With his butt hanging out like that, they were like, I can't believe we cut away.
Now, the whole hijacking, like I said, only ran for about 90 seconds, which doesn't seem like a long time to us, but it's a fucking infinite amount of time if you're that station and you have zero control over your own broadcast, because that's what's happening at that moment. Like they're just watching it and they can't stop it. They're just watching it happen, which must have been fucking crazy nerve-wracking, and the energy at the station was probably just as, like, if not more chaotic than the actual broadcast.
You don't know what that guy's going to do. He's clearly unhinged. I think my take on it is that the first one was like a test run and they realized the sound didn't come through. They're like, okay, we got to do it again. And then he just started drinking.
Maybe. I don't know. But
because he was clearly annihilated in that second one.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if like the hijackers like turned off their signal or if they were able to like overpower it, because they cut it at because like what would have came after the ass slapping?
Oh, we definitely would have gotten a wiener.
You probably, right? I would assume
or
so.
A Cleveland steamer. There would have been something just untoward.
Yeah, New Hampshire s'more. Something, dude. Fuck.
The angry dragon.
Yeah. But yeah, so once either like the hijacker ended his broadcast or the station figured out how to override it, the question wasn't what the fuck is happening anymore. It's how the hell does something like that even happen to begin with? Because
who did this?
Yeah, because the hijacking of the broadcast, it wasn't like hacking the way we think about it now. Like nobody cracked the security measures of a computer system or got into a mainframe or server and uploaded blah 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 blah. Because this wasn't like digital. Like nobody exploited software. That's not what this was. Like no one was sitting there clacking at a keyboard then going like, I'm in.
Matrix style.
Yeah, like
follow the white rabbit.
Like this was physical, as in like they actually had to do stuff. So back in 1987, television stations relied on something called a studio to transmitter link, or STL. Basically, the signal from the studio gets sent out to the broadcast tower using microwave transmissions, and those transmissions are line of sight, which means if you're in the right place with the right equipment, you can interrupt them. You don't need to hack anything. You just need to like overpower that signal, because in analog broadcasting, the stronger signal always wins. So if your signal hits that receiver stronger than the station's signal, your feed replaces theirs. And suddenly whatever you're transmitting is what everyone at home is, unfortunately, they have to watch now, which is pretty much almost definitely what happened here, which means this wasn't just like some random prank. Like this required real fucking knowledge. Like whoever did this understood how broadcast systems worked. They knew where the receivers were. They were on top of places like the John Hancock Center and the Sears Tower. And this also means that they had access to equipment like capable of transmitting a strong enough signal. And they were able.
And frankly, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. It kind of it reminds me of like kind of like the Toynbee tile kind of thing. Like this is dude, back then this shit was fun. We don't get cool stuff like this anymore.
Right. The stuff that happens now is like really terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Or super
and the response is terrifying more than anything. Like remember when Boston had the Moonanites being placed around the city?
Dude, that was, I feel like a gross overreaction, I feel like.
Yeah. Everyone thought it was like an act of terrorism, and it was literally just two hippies that were like, oh, we could make that.
Dude, they were just like...
Yeah, it was guerrilla marketing.
They were light brights. They weren't anything... There was nothing to it.
Also, never once have the Moonanites intimidated anyone.
No, they just gave you the finger and asked if you could feel this because they're doing it as hard as they can. So for anyone who doesn't know, we're talking old people shit from Adult Swim.
Yeah.
All right.
This is very inside baseball. You have to be from New England to understand what we're talking about, because I don't think it got very popular anywhere else.
No, but to be fair, it was kind of Was it close to the Boston bombing or was it close to
No,
9/11?
no. It was like closer to 9/11.
Closer to 9/11. Yeah.
I actually have a T-shirt with the Moonanite on it, flipping off the middle finger, and then it has the date that it happened, and then never forget.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I do
I haven't
like
worn
that.
it in a long time, but I bust it out every once in a while. It's a great shirt.
It's a good shirt. Yeah. So anyway, so back to Max Headroom. So
Oh, right.
yeah. So this took a lot of time, preparation, and effort, I assume. Now, WGN, the first hijacking, that station got lucky. They were able to like regain control pretty quickly, most likely by switching frequencies. But WTTW wasn't able to do that in time, which is why the second hijacking lasted so much longer. And all that to say that this was a very coordinated this was very coordinated, and the people doing this knew exactly what they were doing. So
Right.
the FCC gets involved, the FBI gets involved. There's talks of like fines, jail time, all that. And at the time, this was taken very, very seriously. But the investigation runs into problems almost immediately. The main problem being that there just isn't any evidence.
Yeah. There's no way to trace it.
Yeah, they're like, the footage they had wasn't great. And when the FBI analyzed it, they found that the tape they were working with was already at least a second generation recording, because it was a recording of what I assume was a recording. Like, I don't think, which means it had already been copied. The quality was already degraded and making it harder to pull anything useful from it. They even noted that having the original would have been quote unquote paramount to getting better results, but obviously they're not going to get that. So like, and on top of that, this case just wasn't treated like a top priority. Like, it wasn't a threat to public safety. It wasn't ongoing.
Yeah.
It wasn't causing any damage beyond like what happened in that moment. So resources were limited, and whatever leads they had, if any, weren't aggressively pursued. And eventually the investigation just kind of stalls out. So there's no suspects, there's no arrests, nothing like that. And over time, the whole thing basically just kind of like fades away, at least as far as like law enforcement goes, like to the point where now most of the official records tied to the case don't even exist anymore. The FCC has said that whatever files they had were lost due to like retention policies, and the FBI, they still have like a small handful of documents, but nothing really. So
Yeah.
if any of you internet sleuths out there were thinking about taking on the case for yourselves and finally cracking this one wide open, you're basically shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do a FOIA request, but you're not going to get anything.
Yeah. And there's honestly, like, at this point, why solve it? Just enjoy that it happened.
Yeah. But I mean, this is one of those cases where what we have now is basically all we're going to have. And I'm kind of fine with that.
Right. And the guy who did it, he was so drunk, I'm sure he doesn't even remember he did it.
You think he was hammered? Probably.
I think the second video, he was wasted.
I don't think he was. I think he was just having fun with it.
I mean, maybe.
It could be,
Sometimes when I'm having a good time, it seems as though I'm intoxicated.
yeah, because you're intoxicated with joy.
I've got a lot of goblin energy.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, this is what we have is what we have, which I'm fine with. But also, it's kind of stuck because people want to know like who did it.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it gets a little frustrating because who the fuck knows? But there are.
I just want to give him an award. You know what I mean? Like, you got us. That was good. Because I mean, at this point, like the statute of limitations has to have run out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't imagine. But what would it even be at that point?
Yeah, like what are you going to charge him with?
Yeah.
We don't even use that technology anymore. They'd be like charging somebody right now for cutting a telegraph cable back in 1870.
Like it just doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there are a few different theories about who, like the type of person that could have been behind it. Obviously not who, there's no names or anything like that. But the first and probably the strongest is that this was someone with a background in broadcasting, either a current employee, a former employee, or someone who worked closely with TV equipment, which makes the most sense because pulling something like this off wasn't easy. Like, you needed to understand how those studio to transmitter links worked. You needed to know where the receivers were located, and you needed access to equipment like strong enough to override that signal. It's not something you just figure out one afternoon after reading one WikiHow article and watching a handful of YouTube tutorials, because one, that those didn't exist back then, but also because it is something that you need like a pretty good understanding of how they work. And there are like a couple little details that support this too, like the fact that the first interruption happened during a WGN sports segment, and then during the second broadcast, the guy specifically calls out a Chicago sportscaster by name. So whoever did this wasn't just familiar with broadcasting, they were familiar with Chicago broadcasting specifically, which points pretty heavily towards someone local. Obviously, you kind of have to be too. You couldn't transmit your signal from somewhere else. You'd have to be somewhat.
And you need to know like the lay of the land too. Like you need to know what building you could broadcast it from. And
yeah, the next theory is kind of just an extension of that, which is this wasn't just one person. It was a small group, because if you watch the video like we did, there's clearly more than one person involved. You got the guy in the mask, you got someone operating the camera, someone off screen hitting him with a fly swatter.
Clearly a woman, by the way. That was definitely a woman who was spanking him.
Oh, for sure. And then you likely have someone handling the transmission setup itself. So realistically, this is probably at least 3 to 4 people, maybe more. Who knows? And that actually lines up with what a lot of people who worked in TV at the time have said, that this feels like something a small group of technically skilled people could pull off together, and not just one dude or 2 people slapping each other on the ass with fly swatters.
Yeah.
Another theory people like to bring up is that this could have been someone adjacent to the industry, not necessarily like a full-time TV employee, but maybe someone who worked in electronic news gathering or had access to broadcast gear through like freelance work, or even someone in the ham radio world who understood how TV transmission worked, because back then those worlds overlapped a little more than you would think. So it doesn't necessarily need to have been some insider sitting inside one of the stations. It could have just been someone who knew enough and had the right equipment to make it happen. Then you got like more internet era theories, like more modern ones, stuff like hacker groups, performance artists, or some kind of early media protest. And those are fun, but there's not really any evidence for them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing tying it to an actual artist or movement or like a hacker
And
group.
there really wasn't much of a message, like other than making the joke about Pepsi. Like,
yeah. And if there's anything we know about those types of groups, they fucking love taking credit for shit.
right.
So
they would have said something.
Yeah. Something somewhere would have been brought up, but you know, who knows? But we're gonna go with this, probably not that, and that kind of leaves you with the most likely explanation, that this was just a small group of people local to Chicago with some level of professional or semi-professional broadcast knowledge, who had access to the right equipment, and they just wanted to see if they could pull this off, and they did. So good for them.
Yeah, I still think they deserve an award.
Now,
like most enduring mystery.
Even if we can't give it to them directly, I feel like we should just honor them with one.
Yeah, I agree. The Cryptid Cocktail Party, great job weirding people out award.
Now, as far as like a motive goes, this is where things kind of get a little more interesting, because on the surface, it looks kind of like just like a weird prank, like a bunch of people messing around, seeing if they could hijack a broadcast. But if you look at it a little more closely, but the more you look at it, the harder it is to believe that it was just a completely random prank, because of one very specific detail, and that is the Max Headroom mask. So real quick, let's talk about who Max Headroom was, because the choice feels pretty intentional. So Max Headroom wasn't just some random character. It wasn't something just for this broadcast.
Yeah.
He was this glitchy, stuttering, computer-generated TV host from the 80s. He wore a suit, sunglasses, exaggerated movements, the whole thing. But more importantly, the character itself was a satire of television. Like, the whole point of Max Headroom was that he was this artificial personality created by media companies, a fake digitized host that existed inside the system, constantly breaking, glitching, and making fun of the way TV worked. So you've already got a character that's meant to feel like something's wrong with the broadcast, and then someone takes that character and uses it to literally hijack a real broadcast. That's not accidental. That's someone making a very specific choice, because if you wanted to just mess with people, you could have worn anything, any costume, any mask, whatever, but they picked a character that already represented broken media and then used it to break the media, which is fucking genius.
It's Inception level trolling.
Yeah. And then when you look at what he's actually saying during the broadcast, it lines up even more. He's referencing commercials, talking about brands, taking shots at local TV personalities, just kind of remixing all this stuff that people would recognize from regular television. It's like he's taking everything people expect to see on TV and just twisting it into something fucking absurd, which makes it feel less like a random prank and more like a really weird form of media satire. Now that doesn't mean this was some big coordinated art piece. Obviously not. There's no real evidence to that, but it does feel like whoever did this had a sense of humor
Yeah,
in what they were
absolutely.
doing. Like they weren't just trying to hijack a signal. They were trying to make it weird. And if that was the goal, fucking nailed it.
They
buds.
nailed it. And it's hard to find a message in all of it when you
Yeah.
take it in its totality, because everything, like I could see like the media satire up until the end when the dude gets spanked with a fly swatter. That's where it sort of goes off the rails for me.
Yeah. But I mean, it's fun.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
But yeah, so there you have it. That's the Max Headroom broadcast hijacking, a completely bizarre, technically impressive, and still unsolved incident where someone hijacked live television, made an absolute mockery of it, dropped their pants on air, and then just got away with it.
And you should, if you're younger than us, which is a strong likelihood at this point, you should look up the real Max Headroom and watch him, because he is actually pretty unsettling now.
Yeah.
Like back in the 1980s, it was very quirky and like in line with what you would see in the 1980s. But nowadays, when you look back on it, you're like, oh, this is fucking sinister. So it's even more sinister when someone's wearing a Max Headroom mask and being completely unhinged.
What's crazy too is that like Max Headroom is a pretty good allegory for now with like AI and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't bring him back.
And I think I think the actor from Max Headroom is the other dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Is he
Rick
really?
Moranis, and then, yeah, I think it's the same guy.
Maybe.
Let me check real quick. Wait one. Yeah.
Is
I
it
was
really?
correct. Yeah, it's the he's been in a bunch of movies too. He was in
Yeah.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, it's the same guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
But yeah, so there you have it. How you feeling?
I love this. This is one of my favorite. Like, I love any kind of like disruptive, weird attack on the establishment media. It just makes my day.
Yeah, it's a fun story. I wish there was more to it, but I mean, it doesn't need to be. I think it's just a fun little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want an answer. I want this to remain a mystery, because that's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, I just hope that like whoever did it, when they're on their deathbed, they're not like, I was Max Headroom, and then
No matter what, whoever did it, if they reveal themselves, will never be able to live up to the glory that was that video.
yeah, just keep it a secret. Don't ever let it come to light.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, unless like 20 years from now, like someone's going through like their grandpa's old like belongings in a chest somewhere, and they find like the VHS tape, like the original one.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
that would be cool.
I do like that. I would buy it. I would auction it off. All right, Sarge, that's it. That's the end of the episode. I guess, is there anything you want to talk about or plug before
No.
we? No,
I'm good right now.
you got nothing. All right, well, I guess I'll just do my regular spiel.
All right.
Follow us on Instagram at Cryptid Cocktail. Follow us on TikTok, Cryptid Cocktail Party. Call the hotline or shoot us a text. Send us some pictures. If you got anything you need to share with us, 321-300-5606. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. It helps a ton. Gets us into more people's ears or where I don't gets us somewhere. I really don't know.
It gets us inside you somehow.
Exactly.
Consensually, though, because you have to download.
Yeah. That tracks. I think that's all I got. I guess with that out of the way, Sarge, do you want to say goodbye and I love you to the audience?
Goodbye, and I love you.